everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. Happy Saturday. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And this is a show where we talk about the latest in pop culture and movies. And on today's show, lots to talk about. Well, sort of lots to talk about. Definitely an episode where I guess today is the live stream where we'll talk all spoilers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3.
Yep, and we're also going to be talking about how the New Gods and the Trench no longer are going to be moving forward.
And of course, new trailers dropped today for Black Widow and Space Jam, a new legacy. We'll talk about all of this on the show. And just a quick housekeeping rule for everybody who's tuning in for the spoiler discussion for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We typically save that for the second half of our show, just in case anyone who has not caught up with the show yet. We don't want it to be spoiled for them if we put that up top. So just keep that in mind, that the spoilers become a second half of the show. And if you could keep the chat section spoiler free until we get to that point, just be really, really nice for the rest of our movie bunch who have not had the time to catch up with Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet. Kind of give them a chance to do so. So with that said, you guys, welcome. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, we got a long weekend ahead of us. We got Easter Sunday coming up, and hope you all have a wonderful Easter tomorrow.
Hope you guys went and
unless
got
it's
some candy.
Sunday right now for some of you.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you've gone out and gotten like your big basket full of chocolates and candy, the best day, from what I hear, to go to C's Candy and
Is it C's?
Oh, and stock up on a ton of discounted chocolate is the day after Easter. And I was surprised when I first heard that. I was surprised that I was like, what? I thought it would be Halloween or Valentine's Day, but no, apparently Easter is huge.
Why
and that's
Easter?
I guess that's when they have the most chocolate bunnies around. But when I went to the store, I got some of those white chocolate Reese's.
Yeah, we did.
And,
I haven't even had any yet.
And speaking of which,
yep, go ahead.
I'm going to hesitantly promote a Movie Couple Eats video that we are in the middle of working on and editing.
I just thought of a new title.
And it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be something to where things that not. Thanks, Navi. You're just going to come on here and bump our TV, like bump our camera. I was in the middle of talking to all these people. But yeah,
she literally ran into the tripod like on purpose.
Bonk.
Like, I'm here. You can start the show.
Yep. And so, Wendy, you're now. I mean, not Wendy. Navi. Hi, everybody. But
I want to be Navi.
We'll switch it up. But our Movie Couple Eats is going to be a unique one. So I think
make sure you stay tuned. I think it'll be up on Monday or Tuesday. So just this one you don't want to miss.
And you'll notice by the unique title of it.
I haven't even thought of it.
We have a couple unique titles that we'll be throwing out there. So stay tuned for some of that as well.
Yeah. And before we get into the topics today, a couple of announcements up top. If you're subscribed to our channel, you already probably got the notification. If you didn't get the notification, make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get notified of any new videos that we put up. We put up 2 videos very close to each other. I don't typically like to do that, but the 2 trailers dropped sort of within hours of each other, so I really didn't have a choice. But we do now have our trailer reaction up for the new Black Widow trailer, as well as the brand new trailer for Space Jam, A New Legacy. So check those out and give those a nice thumbs up, because that really, really helps us out here on the channel. Algorithm, all that stuff gets our videos more views, which in turn helps us keep things going. Your subscription, your likes, you sharing, really all, and comes also down to helping us out.
We love the fact that you guys are throwing out your ideas, your chit chat in the chat and talking amongst each other. We do ask a few things. Please make sure that you keep it civil and everyone is just nice and polite to each other, because that's what we like as well. Also, if there is a question that's burning on your mind that you've been putting into the chat and the chat is just flying by and we can't quite get to it, go ahead and drop it into a super chat and we will be forced to answer it.
When you say it like
obligated
that.
Kind of a thing.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh yeah, Stars Drew says, hey, you guys got on matching shirts.
Completely by accident.
Showing some Druid pride this morning. These shirts are from Fan Wraps. Dustin and I actually did the photo shoot promoting their whole like TTRPG tabletop gaming line. So if you want to check it out, there is a link I actually don't know if there is a link or not in the because I did it differently today. But you can go to fan wraps. It's one word. I'll actually drop it in the chat right now. Yes, the shirt does say nature's wrath because if you play D&D or Pathfinder, druids and nature kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I think my druid that I play in the campaign that you're running doesn't have the highest in nature for some reason.
Well, I think you chose to be a little bit more of a like because your charisma is also really low
Yeah, I mean, I
as the
did it on
character.
purpose. She needs to have some sort of a flaw.
Speaking of Wendy playing D&D, she's also on. For some of you, thank you all for what is that called? Hopping in and
Star
supporting Wendy,
Drew.
like Star Drew stopping in on Bedlam and Discord
Bedlam and Discord.
for her D&D show, and where she plays a dwarven barbarian called
Yeah. Glida.
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 And if you checked it out, it's hilarious. She is super fun to watch, especially the entire group. I love the chemistry and the story that they've been telling in this little 6-episode. I think they're
Yeah.
doing 6 episodes.
I think so. I'm not sure, but it's so far every Wednesday night on Twitch. I'll go ahead and link that later on in the description because I thought I was gonna do it, and I don't think because I started the show in a different way today, trying new stuff, and I don't think it translated over. But yes, for any fellow TTRPG players out there, please check it out. It would be really, really great. We've got a whole great cast of characters, really interesting backstories that I'm also just learning about because we didn't do a session 0. Like the session that you guys saw this past Wednesday was literally our first session. So that was really interesting. We hadn't even met prior to this. I only know like one person from the entire campaign. So it's a lot of fun. And I love it. Would love it if you guys could check it out. We have our first super chat of the
from
stream.
Marvin.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Marvin. All right. Marvin writes, not to open a can of worms, but why do you think pagan nature stuff is suddenly so appealing in the modern rational world? Go ahead.
I think a lot. I mean, I think it's also more along the lines of that. For the longest time, we've kind of had this, take advantage of nature, but for the longest, I think it's just the fact that nature care has become stewardship. That's the word I was looking for. Nature stewardship is starting to become more and more and more a big thing. We have to protect nature. We have to make sure, especially with global warming and all of that being a big hot topic, I think it just lends to more and more people wanting to have more of a connection with nature. So I think that it's a lot of what's going on societally and how there's just a huge movement from one side that just wants to kind of just plow it all under. And the other side's like, no, you can't do that because we need nature. We need our planet to be healthy, kind of thing. So I think that's probably where a lot of it would be springing from.
I also think it's not a thing that it's new or suddenly appealing. I just think that there's more outlets such as social media that exists now that it didn't before.
Yeah.
So there are more people that are being exposed to it, whether you're just reading about it or some people find out about it and they kind of go and deep dive into that. I think before it's just like, face-to-face conversations, or maybe you read like an article here, read a whatever news clip here, and now you can go on various social media platforms and have people talking about this. So
it's also a lot easier to get your ideas out there, and those kind of social, like those spiritual lessons and stuff, no matter what they are, whether you believe them or not, whether it's right or wrong, they're out there and you can find them. So I think it's a mixture of it being a huge topic in news and media, and also the fact of the easy access to be able to maybe learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
kind of a thing. So,
and that's why we think that.
And that would be my thought.
Yeah, it's really
and
our
also
opinion.
Because the rise of D&D and the rise of tabletop role-playing games makes it so people are like, I want to be a druid.
That's so funny. Oh man. But yeah, that's what we think. I don't know if that's just our opinion, and I'm not saying it's accurate, but that's kind of what we think. So thank you so much, Marvin, for your super chat. We've got another one coming up from Lamont.
Thank you
Lamont,
so much, Lamont.
hi! Lamont writes, breaking news, EW has just reported that Zendaya will be voicing Lola Bunny in the new film. Woo!
Ooh.
Also, can we talk about how LeBron's reaction as a cartoon was the same as Macaulay Culkin's in The Page Master? Oh my God! Wow, throwback.
The
The
page,
Master.
yeah, that's Page Master. Wow, I have to go
That's
now. I have to go back
old.
and kind of be like, I don't remember exactly what Macaulay Culkin's reaction was in that, but honestly, I loved seeing animated LeBron, like Looney Tunes version LeBron
That was
James.
funny.
And honestly, when we're talking about the Space Jam trailer, since that's
Yeah, we can
kind
go
of the
ahead and
gear
talk
that
about
we're
it. Yeah,
going
yeah,
into,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
thought it had the perfect mixture of how do we change this story up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but yet keep the same fun in there, and introduce a certain villain and have a combination of live action, of CGI, I mean like
Yes.
CGI characters, and animation and traditional 2D animation. And I think from what it looks like, I
Mm-hmm.
am super excited to see this, to see the new Space Jam movie. When at first I was kind of like just intrigued, like kind of like, huh, wonder how they're going to do that,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Are they still going to have the Monstars in there? Are they going
The
to?
Goon
Is it
Squad
going to be really
now.
going to be like, what is that called? A sequel to the
Mm-hmm.
movie, or I mean, to the first Space Jam, or
Yeah.
they just kind of brush it under the table and be like, hey, maybe the Looney Tunes might remember, but it maybe
Oh,
doesn't. Now
I
that they've
would love for
been
them to
moved,
acknowledge it.
yeah, I think
I
it would
mean,
be
it was
really fun.
Michael Jordan. So I feel like you gotta at least mention. Like, I wonder if it'd be funny if LeBron on the so since we're talking about the new trailer for Space Jam. Hope, by the way, thank you, Lamont, for shouting out Zendaya, who will be voicing Lola Bunny. We're super excited. I love her so much.
Yes.
Just want her to do
And
so much.
Zendaya also has kind of that
Sultry,
spunkiness. That sultry
she can play
spunkiness.
both. It's going to be really really great.
Because Lola Bunny does have that, that very sultry kind of a voice, but she's also very, very sassy. So I am super excited to see
Yeah.
Zendaya take on that, to play the voice of her.
Yeah, that's going to be really really exciting. So in the trailer, if you've seen it, I'm assuming that you guys did, but LeBron kind of, with the tunes with his member, I guess, writing down on the whiteboard, like, his pick of players who he'd want: Superman, King Kong, Gandalf,
I thought that was hilarious.
and Iron Giant. But who knows if he stops at Iron Giant? That's all we got. So what if he put on the board also like Michael Jordan, just as a callback?
Yeah.
And then that can kind of open the conversation for the tunes to say, "Hey, we know him." Or I wonder if they won't remember. I don't know, but I'm surprised how much I enjoyed the trailer, because like I was wondering, like, how will it be? Is it going to be the same without Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Like, I really really like the first one. Really happy we're getting a second one, and I kind of like that they're not doing an exact replica of the very first film, that there is something a little different. We got Don Cheeto and the
Yes.
serververse coming into play, all these different worlds. Like, I know it's like different kind of planet sort of things. Like, there was a whole Game of Thrones planet world thing that he flew past before he landed in Tune, whatever you want.
The Toon World.
Right. So that was really cool, and I liked it. It felt like, with all these pop culture cameos, it certainly feels a lot like a little bit of like Ready Player One. So that's going to be interesting. We have another super chat from David.
Thank you,
Hey,
David.
Thank you. David writes, hello. Is there any movie that you only watch on Easter? I will be watching The Princess Bride.
Oh, good choice. You know what? Princess Bride is good for any occasion. So I concur with your choice of movie picks, my good sir.
Easter specifically? I feel like I should pick like a Peter Rabbit type of.
Yeah, something rabbity.
I don't typically watch anything on Easter. Thinking back, this might be a little weird, but thinking back to my childhood, when there was an Easter thing, we all went to our neighbor's house. This is when I still live in Florida. And we watched, for the kids, on VHS, The Last Unicorn.
Really?
It was on, and the kids watched it. that was the first time I saw it, and I was like, "What movie is that? I have to have it." And then it was like, then I was trying to collect as much of The Last Unicorn as I could because I was obsessed.
Honestly, I don't think we've ever really watched very many things on Easter because most of the time it's the adults that are watching like sports events.
Yeah.
So we've always kind of that's always what has been on in the background. So
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I can't really remember any specific movie that we've ever had that's on in the background during Easter. I mean, definitely like Christmas. I know that we'll have either Scrooge or we'll have Die Hard
Both.
kind of on in the background, or if it's around Halloween, I'll definitely have Nightmare Before Christmas on
Yeah.
in the background. But Easter, that's an interesting
That is an
one.
interesting one. I don't recall specifically watching any types of movies during Easter, but
Well, we're gonna have to start a new tradition,
well,
and
maybe we'll watch a movie tomorrow then.
we'll pick a movie tomorrow to watch in the
I
background with
feel
my
like we're
family.
gonna watch Kong versus Godzilla though, or Godzilla versus Kong because it's out
Yeah, very true.
on
Just
HBO
throw
Max.
that up on in the background.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple of more super chats we're gonna get to, and then we will talk about Black Widow.
Yes.
Okay, so this one comes from Amr.
Thank you,
Amr,
Amr.
thank you. Amr writes, Space Jam was my very first movie I've watched in theaters. I just turned 9. Oh my gosh. And I remember being so excited for that intro and song. Oh, what
Oh
the
yeah.
memories.
When that
Everybody get up as I'm come on and slam.
I mean,
And welcome to the jam.
And
Sorry.
I love that movie. I mean, oh, geez, I'm trying to remember when I first saw it, and I mean, I love the Looney Tunes. I love the characters in there, and to kind of sit back and be like, all right, Michael Jordan, I have to admit, you did a pretty
So
good job
good.
on being pretty much the lead actor in a movie.
Yeah.
And we've seen LeBron James be in certain movies, so
Right.
I know he does pretty well on set on the big screen.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see him carry a movie, and he does have a really nice charisma to him.
I think one of my things I'm looking forward to, and I don't know how long he's gonna have, like, this segment is gonna be in the movie, but him as a cartoon, seeing him as a cartoon was pretty cool. So I wonder how long we're gonna have him stay in that world before he comes back out to being like live action again. So we will see. Ariane, we're gonna go ahead and save questions for Falcon and the Winter Soldier later on the show. So just make
Yes.
sure you copy and paste your question because we'll lose it because once it scrolls back up, I can't find it again. We'll get to it in just a little bit, but make sure you save it and we will definitely answer your question when we get to Falcon and the Winter Soldier spoilers. But before we do,
And also, just a quick reminder for everyone in the chat: please don't put any spoilers into
Not
the
yet.
chat quite yet. We will get to it when we get to the Falcon and Winter Soldier section. So everyone who has a chance to say, "Oh, I haven't seen it yet," they go.
they can yeah, depart from the live stream without getting the show ruined for them.
Very
But
true.
man, I remember seeing this in theaters. I am trying to remember who I went with. Probably my aunt. Who else? This feels like a movie that she would take me to see.
Space Jam was pretty much one of those family films that
Yeah.
you could take the whole family to. That
Yeah.
even the grown-ups would be like, since it's Michael Jordan, it's a big sports name, that
Mhm.
it's still fun for the adults to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What's going to be another fun movie to watch will be The Black Widow. We get the final trailer today. Well, they say it's the final trailer. They also called it the new trailer. So it's a little confusing, but it actually won't come out until July. So we potentially could get another trailer. I don't feel like we need it because at this point I don't want to. I'm afraid to watch more because I don't want all the good moments to be taken away from me
Yeah,
because
true.
it's already shown in the trailer.
And
But I can see them doing maybe some TV spots.
well, I'm also surprised too because we've seen a lot of trailers
It's like
for
two or
Black Widow.
three or four, three
Well, more than
Super
all
Bowl
of the
spots.
Super Bowl spots, TV. I mean, different TV spots. We've seen different, full length trailers, and a part of me is kind of like, I'm still surprised that in this latest trailer they still gave us some new footage that I'd never seen before.
I know, especially with Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are showing a lot of the action scenes. I'm wondering how much of the movie we've actually already seen. If we took all of the trailers, kind of spliced them together kind of a thing.
Watch it's just like the first 20 minutes or
Yeah,
something
this
like
all
that.
happens,
And then everything else later is, you know, so because Disney / Marvel, they've been really good about saving their big stuff for the actual movie
yeah.
itself. So I know we saw them do this with Star Wars. We're just like, oh, they're showing too much, not the whole movie.
Mhm.
We've seen it. By the time you watch the movie, you're like, oh. And then sometimes that footage that you saw in the trailer doesn't even make it into the movie
Yeah.
itself, which is actually pretty smart because then you're really, really safe from any sort of spoilers. But I love the new trailer. I'm very excited to see the origin, her story, her relationship, you know, with Florence Pugh's character Yelena.
Her
I
whole family.
Yeah, I just can't wait. Like, see, like young Black Widow, young Natasha with like
All the
the
different colored
different color
hair.
hair. That's gonna be really interesting. And
And
uh-huh.
also the fact that they showed, the clip of her death in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious on how much of previous Marvel footage from previous movies we're going to get in this. How much of it's going to be like maybe like a
I want to see
narrated
the
by the
part
spirit of Natasha,
or
which seems,
someone telling her
or
story.
someone telling her
What if it was
story.
Yelena telling her story?
Oh, well, true, but we also did hear some, what is that called? Some narration, like over a voiceover,
Or maybe they find her ledger
her ledger, her diary,
or
or it's the
something.
fact that, yeah, this is kind of an exposition that she is talking to her family about her being an Avenger, because we still don't know exactly what time period this takes place. Does it take place like after Age of Ultron? Does it
Mm-hmm.
take place right before Infinity War? Or
Her,
or maybe it's the oh, maybe it takes place during the blip.
I don't think so. I think it takes place before all of that.
Okay,
That's my
maybe.
personal opinion because she said before I had a family. It's like the Avengers.
True.
So that's what I'm thinking, but who knows? Honestly, who knows? But regardless, we are super excited for the movie. The goal is to try to see it in theaters if I can get shots in my arm before July 9th. That's the hope. Fingers crossed. Then we'll go ahead and see this in theaters because we'll feel a little bit safer doing it that
Yep,
way. You
yep.
know, while masking up and all that stuff still. So
Hazmat suit up.
no popcorn. What is a movie without popcorn? Really?
It's not a movie.
It's not.
You have to have that
It's
popcorn.
not. We have another super chat from Marvin. Hey,
Thank you,
Marvin, thank you so much. Marvin writes, Lola shows naughty cells even in a kid's movie. I don't know if they made her specifically naughty in this
She
one.
had, well, she had definitely
in the
that.
first one.
And there was that moment of her like running past camera on the basketball
Court.
on the court. Thank you. On the court.
How do I know this? I don't even know sports.
You're suggesting that I do.
Maybe more
But
than
yeah,
me.
she had that little slow motion run by. She does like the wink in the trailer.
Okay,
So a little bit like, I guess, a little naughty, a little what is that called? Yeah, because that's kind of part of her character, kind of like Jessica Rabbit kind of a thing.
But I feel like that's also very
two completely
different. Yeah.
No, touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Jessica's like in a whole. It's like they're in different categories. But I mean, you know, I don't think she's particularly naughty. I think she may have a hint of like, hey, I'm sexy and I know it. But
confidence.
Confidence, yes. She exudes confidence. Movie bunch coming in talking about the Black Widow timeline. So let me just scroll to it real quick. Where? Oh my gosh.
Wow, is it really that far? Oh, because
Yeah,
we
it
do
is.
have
Here we go. Okay. Debbie says, to me, this will explain a lot of us why Natasha made the jump she did on Vormir. I know that. Okay, here we go. So timeline post Civil War.
Okay.
It's between Civil War and Infinity War.
Okay.
After Civil War. Okay.
And I think we actually have a super chat from someone that says,
Christopher.
Yes, Christopher.
Here we are.
Thank you so
Christopher.
much.
After Civil War. Yes. There it is. Wow, I really thought it was like prequel. Like I thought it was way early. After Civil War. Ooh. Interesting.
So, and then so that would make sense. That actually has a pretty big gap of time in there that you can have Natasha kind of be like, hey, you know what? Cap's over there. Iron Man's over there. I'm you know what? I'm gonna go off and take care of my own family problems, kind of a
I
thing.
mean, this means when this movie hits theaters or is available on digital, whenever that may be, like not just Disney premium VOD, like digital everywhere
Mm-hmm.
that you can rent, buy, stream, whatever. Potentially, you could watch, if you want to, Avengers Civil War, Black Widow,
And then,
Endgame.
mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna cry just a little bit harder when that scene happens in Endgame. That's gonna be really interesting. Wow. No, I don't want to relive that. I don't want to. That made me so upset. Like
Mm-hmm.
first Gamora, then her. I was like, you cannot with these two characters.
And I was surprised too. I'm kind of like, Nebula, you didn't like give them a heads up on the way to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
But then again, if they warned them, then maybe they
would have gone a different route.
Yeah, they would have seen if they, because yeah, it was either on the planet and you had to have someone die, or it was in the possession of Thanos.
Yes.
Either one of those scenarios are not good.
Yeah. We have a super chat from Justin. Justin, thank you so much. Justin writes, do either of you have a least favorite movie? Off the top of my head, mine is probably either Epic Movie or Hostel 2, unless I blocked something out.
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh,
I will have a grudge against that movie for the rest of my life.
A terrible movie.
I
really did not like
so hyped. I was telling everyone that this was going to be the greatest movie. This was going to be such an awesome franchise. They're going to make so many different movies out of this series. And it was god awful, to where so much so that it's hard for me to explain just how much anger I had for this production, for this movie. And I'm just like, how could you mess up this bad?
That might be my least favorite movie. Like, I was so invested because we're both big fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender as well as Legend of Korra. So, we're of course super excited. We're like, oh my gosh, we were following the updates, like like the biggest fans ever. I'm like, okay, like this is look at the weapons they're using, look at the sneak peek of their clothes, the color palettes, this and
so
that.
Many martial artists.
Yeah, this is gonna be so cool, and it was just terrible. Did they even show the Kyoshi Warriors?
No, they did not show the Kyoshi Warriors.
I remember hearing a story, or we witnessed this. I don't remember because I think I blocked it out. But people dress up for films when it has like a big fandom following. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Avatar: Last Airbender was one we saw. I think we saw this. I don't remember. But the story is somebody dressed up, not our friends, as one of the Kyoshi Warriors to watch the movie. Coming out after the movie let out, like costume was in the trash. I wouldn't have put it in the trash.
Yeah,
I think you can still love the movie does not define the series.
To put that much time, love, and effort into a costume, and when you walk out of the movie, you're like, I hate this stupid. Just get this thing off.
You're just so mad. You're like, what the crap do we just? I felt like we were watching the Ember Island player version, the stage play, and then us walking out and be like, well, that was. I'm glad Toph wasn't even in this movie because they would have done her so wrong, and that's my favorite character. You cannot do her wrong.
There's a couple good ones in the chat. From Noah, we've got Jack and Jill. That's the one.
Jennifer Aniston? And
No. That's with Adam Sandler, I believe, where he plays brother and sister. I think.
I don't remember. Is that good? It's good that I don't remember.
It's good. It's good that you don't remember. I think I saw some of them. I think I saw some of it, and I'm like, I'm done. No, I'm done. I'm not interested. But also Dragon Ball Z, the movie.
Evolution.
So many people were so disappointed. Yeah, Evolution.
Yeah, it was
so disappointed in that movie. Everyone was like, "Yes, finally, we're getting a Dragon Ball Z movie." And people are just like, "What did you do?" Along that lines, too, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie
That's
was
the one that I didn't see, right?
That was the one you did not see, but oh my goodness, that was so bad.
Gosh. We also have Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman.
Catwoman was pretty bad.
Oh,
Time Cop 2.
that was
Don't think
really
I saw
bad.
that. Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember that one. For me, I think it would be The Snowman
Oh,
with Fassbender.
mm-hmm. That was pretty bad.
The trailer looked really intriguing. I was like, oh, this looks so cool. And I think there's like, it's based on a novel, and
Oh
I don't think that translation went through well as far as the adaptation from book to screen goes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see?
Where to go? Where to go? It was a really good Double Dragon. The first, the 90s or 80s and 90s when they tried to make video game movies
Mhm.
were just what is it? Someone has Super Mario Brothers, Double
Mhm.
Dragon. Oh my gosh, yeah, some of these are just hit the nail right on the head kind of
Yeah.
suggestions of just how bad some of these movies were. But it's fun to kind of look back and tease and poke and prod
Yeah.
at some of these old movies that you're just like, oh my
Oh, why?
gosh.
Yeah.
And
For those of you watching after the live stream, please put your least favorite movie in the comment section below so we can go back and read them. And then I think
one of those movies that it's like it's so bad, it's almost one of those movies that's so bad it's good, but it's just not bad enough to fit into that category so it's just bad.
A couple of Christopher dropped in a very interesting super chat. I lost my word for a minute there. Chris writes, she's on the run as a character in Falcon and Winter Soldier, wink wink. We know who that is because I think we saw her. But I'm trying to see if there's other comments that kind of teed up to this super chat. And I don't want Chris to like have to put in another one to explain himself. So I'm going back to try to find it. Ariane writes, I have a feeling that Black Widow film was supposed to explain certain things in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like General Ross' side of things.
Yeah.
So that could also kind of be hinting at Chris's super chat.
Also,
maybe.
I remember, I think it was at the beginning of Civil War. Or maybe it was in the beginning of Winter Soldier. They get that jar that had like the red liquid in it. And we were like, what is it? What is it? What is that going to do?
Right.
What kind of, and we're sitting here going, that's probably the Red Hulk serum. And I'm curious on when they're going to have Thunderbolt Ross come in as the Red Hulk. I really want to see that.
I mean, that
maybe
could
they'll hint at
be
it a
the
little
intro for, oh my gosh, so many things. Are we starting the speculation already? Oh man.
That's half the fun of this
another bad movie, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no, that
Ariane wrote that in the chat. Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
Not good. You guys, before we dive into
Cats.
Memories.
Cats. Oh, the Dark Phoenix saga the Dark Phoenix movie that just came out.
Not great.
Oh, I wanted that to be good.
Could have been better. You know what also annoyed me though? That movie, we went to the screening and the theater alarm went off and the lights kept on flickering on and off. Do you remember that? It was during the train scene.
We had a fire alarm.
And it took me a second to the whole theater but our theater didn't evacuate, but the theater that Dennis was in got evacuated. I remember because he was talking to me afterwards and I was like, oh, you guys actually got like left? And he's like, what about you guys? And I was like, I mean,
and honestly, it's funny. It hit at the right time during an action scene to where we were like, is that coming from the movie?
Yeah, we actually couldn't tell until they got to a quieter moment in the movie. We're like, oh, that's definitely the
that's a fire alarm.
Like, we're like, should we leave? But nobody was getting up. So we're like, maybe, and the security personnel that was in the theater with us weren't freaking out. So we just stayed put.
And we have one last super chat.
I don't have it yet.
From Marvin Martin.
There it is. All right. Marvin writes, watch pitch meeting honest trailer for Airbender and Dragon Ball Evolution. Speaking of Black Widow, if you could do your own solo super adventure, what would it be?
Of someone that we haven't done yet. Well, first of all, pitch meeting and honest trailers are great. I don't think I've seen the one for Dragon Ball Z for the Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't think I saw the one for Avatar. The one for Avatar it's pretty funny. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you get a chance to check them out, I think it's a cute little series that they do.
I will.
Well, it's not little. It's actually pretty big.
Yeah, I will watch.
kind of a thing.
But our own solo super adventure, huh?
Hmm. Well, I mean, we're the thing is though, nowadays we're getting so many of them. So I mean, already getting like Moon Knight. We've gotten Daredevil, our own super solo adventure. So honestly, maybe I since I just brought him up, I would love to see like a solo story of Thunderbolt Ross after he's taken the Hulk serum. So we get like
Mm.
a solo Red Hulk kind of a movie. And I think you
Mm.
can do so much more too with like a Red Hulk who is, they did a great job with regular Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. And I would love to see more of like that Hulk, even
Okay.
though now that we have Professor Hulk. But I think it'll
Yeah.
be easier to do a more of a Hulk type movie with someone like the Red Hulk
Yeah.
kind of a thing, because he can have full on conversations and a lot more dialogue and a lot more interaction with him as the Red Hulk. So I think that would be fun. What are some of your guys' suggestions? What
Yeah,
do you
put them in
guys?
the chat and we'll read some of them aloud. I think for me, maybe we'll get this very, very soon, hopefully. But I've been wanting a Spider Gwen
Yes.
solo adventure
Oh
for
my
a
gosh, how
very
could
long time. And if Haley Steinfeld is not playing her,
I?
just because she did such a good job in Spider Verse, that I would love to see her do that again.
Yeah.
You know. So here's to hoping. I believe the rumor is that we're getting a Spider Woman
Yep. No, that's true too.
movie, so that'd be great. That could maybe then lead us to like maybe like Silk could appear. That would
Mm-hmm.
that's like all of that's really
Oh.
interesting, but I really really want a Spider Gwen film.
Oh my gosh. Gambit and Rogue. How do you say that?
Gambit and Rogue.
From Hustler Man. I can't read it. Hustle
Hustle Mandalorian.
Hustle Mandalorian. That is a good one. I
Yeah.
I definitely want to see a Gambit. Sometimes it's weird. You just sometimes need the gears, someone to help get those gears going, and then you're just like, yeah, 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 yeah. These are amazing ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Gambit solo superhero would be really good.
Gambit is
Spider
literally
Gwen, I
my
think.
favorite X. He's my favorite X-Men. Like, it was really it's a lot of times it's hard to pick because there's so many that I think are so cool. Like for a while, like when I was younger, I went through like a Storm phase where I was like, she was my fave. But
Yeah.
then the more into it I got, I was like, I really like this Gambit character. I think he's like cocky and cool and charge things and throw cards. Like I had a whole like deck of cards that I would paint like that bright color, try to make them glow in the dark. Didn't work. My mom's like, what are you wasting cards for? I'm trying to be like Gambit. She's like, what's a Gambit? We have one more super chat, and then we're going to go ahead and dive into our main topic, which is spoiler talk for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, thank you so much for your super chat. Justin writes, mostly for Wendy. Which film scared you the most? Dustin can pitch in. For me, a toss-up between Hereditary and the Blair Witch Project. Oh, you hit it right on the nose, Justin. Hereditary freaked me the F out, and I didn't even see it in the theater. I saw it on the plane. So the screen was about like smaller, just a little bit smaller, I would say, than like an iPad. And the images I still can't get out of my head. And I was also, because we're on the plane, so you have people to the left and right of you. Dustin was to my left, but there was another person on my right that like I didn't know. So if I make any sort of jerky herky movement, they're gonna be like, whoa, calm down. Are you having a situation? Are you okay? So I was trying to contain myself, and I did the whole like hoodie up, shirt over the nose, just like trying to watch. And it was something that I couldn't look away from. So Hereditary is definitely up there. Even Horizon is another one that scared the crap out of me. I'm trying to think.
While you think,
The
also,
Strangers.
oh,
The one where they infiltrated the house with like Liv Taylor and Scott Speedman.
Yeah,
That one, because it's very realistic in the sense of a home invasion, which like nobody wants to experience that. Hereditary, quite scary, but like less likely
disturbing.
Right, it's really disturbing. Just the images you can't get out of my head.
Mm-hmm. For me, I mean, since I was traumatized at such a young age with horror movies and I never went back kind of thing, I have older movies. I saw just a part of a Freddy Krueger movie once and had nightmares
Really?
for a really long time. Another one that I actually really liked watching but then had nightmares of were all of the was Alien 2 or Aliens. So, I mean,
Mm.
I would lay down in bed and the shadows would seem to kind of like move on the
Feel like things
wall.
drip on you.
Yeah.
Ah!
And so for me, I'm a little bit more of an old school kind of horror movie.
Yeah.
But that's because that's the only horror movies I've really seen.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I would also say any sort of movie that has any sort of like paranormal ghost or possession stuff, like Conjuring. They don't stick with me like I'm scared and I need to turn on all the lights or anything like that. But I certainly feel sometimes when I'm walking down a dark hallway in a unfamiliar territory where I'm just like, I feel like something is following me and I know no one else is here. And then if you watch a little like Ghost Adventures, then you're done. Like I have a bad habit of like turning on Ghost Adventures on Discovery Plus at midnight when I'm about to go to sleep. I'm like, I'll just watch it, and then I'm like can't go to sleep because I'm
can't stop watching.
But then I'm looking at the shadows. I'm like, something is here with us.
And of course, by that time, I've already fallen asleep. So
yeah, and I'm just like,
I'll start
with the cover.
I'll start making like my noises.
Yeah, no. So I can't watch those anymore. I was talking to Grace, and she's like, just watch them during the day. I'm like, I mean,
don't watch them at night.
Don't watch them at night. It's be the logical thing to do. Okay, I think we missed one more, and then I promise you we're gonna get to.
I think we're actually all caught up. Oh no, I was wrong.
Last one. Thank you so much, Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin.
One. You know, Storm is mom to a space whale.
What is that?
Wait, what?
Is that? I'm okay.
I gotta look it up.
So
are you trolling us?
I would actually. I don't know. Did Storm ever have a child with T'Challa?
I am
actually. I am not sure about that. I know it's going to be. I think you're going to have to look up like X-Men Storm, or maybe put Aurora in there. In there. I don't know. I actually did not know if there's anyone in the chat.
Yeah, where is Goofy Bunch Adam?
Or deny the existence of space whales.
Space whales.
Kind of a thing, because I was pretty sure that yeah, they had a son. She had a son with T'Challa. But the space whale, I'm not quite sure.
Not finding anything right off the bat here, but I feel like you said, I think for me Googling this, it's gonna have to take me a second because I'm gonna have to jump through, but like go on like a Reddit thread.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. We'll do a deep dive into that because I'm curious to hear that storyline on what exactly happened.
Wait, what? Akanti. Ruru2M says Akanti.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm going to have to look that up now.
He got married to Storm, but that's all I know. Yes, T'Challa had a son. Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, interesting. Now we're gonna have to look that up.
I love our chat.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Dropping new knowledge all the time. But you guys, it is time to dive into spoilers and say bye to Navi for the time being.
Whew, I'm sorry.
As we talk Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we're going to be talking about episode 3. Spoilers included. So if you haven't watched the latest episode and you don't want anything to be ruined for you, this may be the time where we have to say goodbye to you, and we will see you on the next live stream, which will be next Wednesday at 2 p.m. PT. But if you're gonna stick around, let's like dive into the episode. I would say this is definitely my favorite episode to date.
Yes. Each episode I think is getting better and better.
And we saw the same kind of pattern with WandaVision.
Yeah.
Because we saw episode 1, then 2, and 3. We're like, oh yeah, this is interesting. But it started very mild because it was very like niche as far as using them really diving into the sitcom eras.
Yeah.
And this one, obviously different theme, different kind of show, so it doesn't really have that. But there was a lot of setup, and there still is a lot of setup. But this one, I would say less so like exposition heavy story for certain characters, because at this point now we've gotten kind of caught up with Sam, with Bucky. We got introduced to John Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So
we just got introduced to reintroduced to Zemo.
Right. So Zemo is this one, and I found it interesting that they once again started the episode with John Walker after the commercial for the GRC.
Mm-hmm.
So I found it interesting that they put that in there, and I want more. I want even more. I kind of want to dive into that a little bit, just so we can get even more story for the Flag Smashers and Carly and her story. But we kind of saw John Walker working under pressure, and like he,
Not doing too
I
well
would
with the
say, like,
pressure.
yeah, just the pressure of one, I think, wanting to get ahead of Sam and Bucky, trying to follow his own leads, coming up empty and being really frustrated, but also not getting that like respect or recognition. So he had having to use like the don't you know who I am? And then the response was yeah, and I
And I don't
don't care. And I'm
care.
like, oh, and not to compare him and Cap, just because he bears the shield. I know they're two different personalities. Steve will always be Steve, and John Walker is John Walker.
Yes.
So it's not a replica of personality who can whatever, like, but it's interesting to see him starting to crack, and kind of having Battlestar, on his side and saying, hey,
Hey,
like we like him really trying to pacify him and be like a true wingman in itself. Like
yes.
I kind of like seeing that dynamic, and seeing how far they're willing to go for each other. But the big thing is Sam and Bucky goes to visit Zemo in jail.
And you know what? Something along just within that topic, Blade GTR in the chat. But
Blade,
it was crazy to me how fast the breakout happened. So, and he's
like
right.
same day.
Yeah, how I'm like,
Within
wow,
the
this
hour.
was, it's like going in to go see him before, like, even like last episode, we're going to go see Zemo kind of a thing. Bucky probably already had a plan.
Yep.
He already had it strategized. And he's like, I can't tell Sam because Sam's going to say no. So
Yeah.
I'm going to bust him out and then beg for forgiveness.
I actually like seeing the little montage, the process of like, that's for me like espionage films, and like when they show the montage of like a heist or whatever. I mean, it's like always my favorite because I just love watching it, and just him breaking down of like, what book are you reading? Opens the book, shows that Zemo already had a key card, and I honestly think even if Bucky and
I
Sam,
think Bucky had somehow got it placed in his book.
how?
I don't know.
No, I think, well, I'm not going to say no because it didn't happen. However, I feel like Zemo, with the brain power that he possesses, probably could have handled it on his own as well. Like,
He just was looking for the best
was-
opportunity.
I feel like it was going to be before long that Zemo broke himself out of jail.
Yeah.
This just was like an even better opportunity because, it's not, he doesn't necessarily have to do it by himself. He has help in this one. So that's really interesting. We've got a super chat here from Christopher. So we're
Thank
going
you
to go
so
to
much,
it.
Christopher.
Chris, thank you. Like, I got to find it. Oh no, we got to find it. Where is it?
It should be pretty. It's
Here we go. All right. Chris writes, Selby, who the guys met, is a mutant in the comic books. Oh, extra. Have you two seen Invincible? Yes.
Oh.
First time on your chat. Happy Easter. Chris, welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Movie Bunch community. Happy Easter to you as well. Yes, we have seen Invincible. It is amazing. Assuming you're talking about Invincible, that's on Amazon Prime Video. So good. Episode 4 is out now. You gotta watch it. It's so good. But just a heads up, like a trigger warning sort of a thing. It does have graphic violence.
Very
so
graphic.
if you're not okay with it,
amazing. It's an amazing show.
Yeah, it's an amazing show. So if you're totally okay with animated graphic violence, by all means, watch ahead or tune in. But if you're not, then like maybe not the series for you. But either way, it's really good. Breaking Zemo out. Then they go to Madripoor, which reading a lot of the comments in our reaction video that links to X-Men. Madripoor. And they even showed somebody pointed out like the Easter egg for Princess Bar.
Yeah.
And I personally didn't pick it up. I don't know if you did.
I actually did not pick it up until someone pointed it out to me.
I still haven't made the connection in my head. Have you made the connection in your head?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
I thought you did from the way you were saying. Like, you're like, yup. I'm like, oh, he gets it. Never mind.
No, not yet. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, I see.
I love all of the little things that they're putting in there. All of they're going to put a ton of Easter eggs,
of course,
into this just to give us that excitement. And also, I love the fact that what Jack Robinson's saying is maybe that Do you think the power broker? Oh shoot, where'd it go? The power broker helped break out Zemo. Is that maybe that's how he got the card, and he was just waiting for the opportunity?
Anything is possible in a spy espionage type of show. I feel like, and especially if you have people that are involved, like Sharon Carter, I think this is kind of the episode where I feel like the fan speculations can definitely pick up, especially with the finally the introduction of Sharon in this
Yes.
episode while they're at Marjapur. Bucky and Sam and Zemo going undercover as Winter Soldier, the smiling tiger, and Zemo is Zemo with his like cool villainous coat. I thought that was really cool. Um, did you know, and I think you already saw this in the comments in that video, this episode was written by the guys who wrote John Wick.
Yes.
Which is why there is, so we made the
It
comparison.
had
We're
a
like,
very
this
John Wick
feels very
vibe to
John
it.
Wick, especially as soon as Selby was killed. The bounty for the killers, well, I guess technically they didn't kill Selby. It was technically Sharon,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, but the bounty went up immediately, and so Bucky and Sam and Zemo had to literally run for their lives, and it was very similar to John Wick, and he was like on the run. So it totally makes sense, and especially with the action. Like, can we just give Sharon her moment? How when she was like, "Hey, I found you guys the doctor. He's in this container. You're gonna go and have yeah," and then the guys are having this conversation with the doctor, trying to find out more information, and because there's a bounty on all of their heads, all the bounty hunters are coming in. She single-handedly took care of almost all of them. She held them off as much as she could before she ran inside the container.
Took out like 5 or 6 of them. And just that going from one to
Brutal,
another.
though.
I loved the choreography of that fight. How she takes out one, moves to another, hits this guy, disables this guy, but comes back to this guy. And it's just this ping pong effect.
Imagine her on a team with Black Widow.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
What sucks is that we'll never see
We're
that.
not going to see
We're
that.
never
Maybe in an
gonna see that,
alternate
but
universe.
that would be awesome.
Would love to see that
in
one
there.
day. Yeah, that's like, I am team. I gotta do a ship name for them: Sharon Carter and Black Widow, or Sharon. Okay, I'll think about it and get back to you guys, or you guys can put it in the chat if you have a ship name for Sharon Carter and Black Widow.
Theory: do you think that Sharon Carter might become the new Black Widow? Because there's also a lot of theories that she's the power broker.
There is the theory that she is the power broker. Right now, the show is making us think that the power broker is a he, because they kept on saying, "Oh, he." Right? Power broker is king, but their fans are already speculating that she could be power broker, especially after they parted ways. She goes back to her car. She's like, "We've got a problem, a couple of big problems." What does that mean? Also, when she finally had no choice but go down into the container to the lab, and the second she spoke up and the doctor looked up, I felt like there was some sort of recognition before Zemo shot him.
Yes.
So I wonder if also Zemo has figured that out somehow, and he's like, I got to keep her cover. Or I don't know what game anybody is playing here. I can't wait to find out, and that's what's making this episode so interesting. Did you get a light bulb?
A light bulb. Well, one thing.
Natasha Sharon. Oh, that's it.
That's really good.
Nicholas.
But what is it? In the comic books, Sharon was responsible for Captain America's death. I wouldn't be surprised if she is very much part of the reason, like she's actually might have helped Zemo get out. Yeah. Kind of a thing, saying, hey, you know what? I've been keeping a track of Sam and Bucky. They're coming your way. Here's a little something to get to kind of help you out, kind of a thing. Yeah. And work them over here to this way, because I have my own means for them. Because I mean, she does kind of have a beef with them. I mean, she helped them out, and she's the one that ends up getting, having to hide. She's the one that's having to keep undercover, and they get off with their
one gets pardoned, the other one's recognized as a hero.
Yeah, she's kind of like, what the hell?
She's like, I can't even talk to my dad.
Exactly. So I mean, she really got the shit end of the stick on that. So I could see that she does have some beef to settle with them, that she's actually the one. Like, that would be one of the big problems if she is the power broker. She's like, crap, we've now just destroyed my lab, kind of a thing. So we need to get a new lab.
Yeah, that's gonna be that. If she, I don't know if she's power broker, but if she is, that's gonna be a real interesting twist. It's just the comment that she made before she got in the car. I don't know where to place that. Like, where does she mean? She is a spy. Like, she's trained. She worked for Nick Fury.
Yeah.
You know, he's a man of secrets. So like, she's definitely got tons of secrets of her own, I'm sure.
And she was technically put undercover to watch
He
Captain
he didn't even
America.
figure it out. He was
Yeah.
like, I remember
So-
like watching back. He's like, "Hey, neighbor."
Mhm.
So yeah, we will.
So
will
she's
see.
obviously pretty good at what she does.
Yeah, but I don't think she's gonna, do any sort of harm to Bucky and Sam, even though she may be holding a bit of a grudge because like her freedom has been stripped from her. She's now having to create this whole new life. But if Sam can get her that pardon, like he said that he would, then maybe we will see. Who knows?
And also, what is it? Someone just put in there something about. I lost it because it keeps on going with
Is it this one?
scrolls. Where is it? Is it because? But yeah, there's. I mean, honestly, if we are doing espionage, adding the scrolls in there is just a perfect seasoning.
Do you think it's not actually Sharon then?
No. I think it's Sharon. I think so far everyone we've
Okay.
met have been their real selves.
Mm.
However, I think throwing in the spice of the scrolls into this kind of espionage style of Marvel show is perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious on if they're going to do that too. And yeah, maybe there's going to be a moment to where like, oh yeah, that's Sharon, but it's not. It's really a scroll. Or I'm super excited to see more on how this develops.
I mean, there's only 3 episodes left, right? There's 6 episodes total.
4, 5.
We just
Well,
had
we've
episode 3.
Are we? This was the mid finale.
So we only have 3 left, which means I think the next 3, if I am right that these are the final 3 that are coming up, then things are going to get very intense very quickly. And I think we're maybe going to start getting those like mid-credit, post-credit scenes as well.
Mhm.
Maybe, I don't know. This is all speculation, but I'm really, really curious as to see what what comes to a head in the next 3 episodes. We also have the finale, how the show ended, where Bucky sees something's on the floor, picks it up, and it's the little bead from the bracelet.
Yeah, Wakanda.
And I said it too. I was like, that looked like, but I questioned myself. I was like, is that like a Wakanda bead? Like what could they potentially show up? Just because it wasn't, which great job, by the way, to Marvel. Definitely a secret was kept because like nobody even talked about
I know
the possibility of this showing. At least we didn't read about any of it. But he comes face to face with one and only. I'm gonna mess up her name if I don't look at it. Florence Kabusa's Ayo Kasumba. Sorry, Kasumba or Kasumba. But she comes and she's like, "I'm here for Zemo." I was like, "Oh right, oh
it makes perfect
right.
sense.
He killed your king."
And
so
it makes like it's one of those things that you're just like, why didn't I think of this? Why did I
seems
not
so
expect
obvious.
this? I mean, it's one of those things that's so obviously good to put into this series because there's so many threads that connect it from Zemo to Winter Soldier. And I'm just like, I should have seen this coming a mile away, and I didn't. And I am so excited to see how they develop it. I hope she's here until the final episode, because the more they put in there from Wakanda, I think the better that this finale is going to be. And I think this would actually make a lot of sense too. If, for example, whoever the power broker is, and Zemo, and all of these different plans that are working, and they're like, oh, right, we've got them where we want them. This is exactly how we're going to be able to plan this out and strategize. Our plan's going to work. And then all of a sudden you enter the Wakandans, and then they're like, shit.
Yeah.
We did not see this coming. How are their plans going to get disrupted? And pretty much it's Wakanda that kind of takes the whole table and be like, flips the table on, you want to try to take everyone over? Well, fine. Here we are.
Man.
Here we are to destroy your plans.
I mean, you just got to be like, the second you turn around and you're face to face with the Dora Milaje, you have to be like,
Oh my god.
what I do,
I'm
what I
gonna
do. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm so sorry. Just start
I'm sorry. I'm
apologizing
sorry.
because they're here to take care of business, you know. So they don't mess around. But I was
Mm-mm.
so happy to see her because most likely episode 4 will pick up exactly where episode 3 left off. So we
Yes.
get to have that conversation between uh Ayo, I think it's Ayo or Ayo. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. Uh, and Bucky, and then kind of seeing then how Sharon's going to fit back in because I assume this cannot be the one and only episode that we get Sharon. Like
Yeah.
there's just no way. So oh my gosh, I love the show so much, and I feel like every episode is about to get better and better and better and better before it just finally like blows our minds, and we can't wait. Is this supposed to give us a second season, this show? Do you know? Do you guys know?
I don't think it's been 100% confirmed, but it makes sense that out of all of the Marvel shows, this is the one because, WandaVision was definitely kind of like your standalone kind of storyline. I
Mm-hmm.
can even see Loki kind of being like, okay, once his adventure is done, kind of thing, that's where it will end.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of keep on going, to move from Zemo to maybe another less well-known villain, and then they can tell his story and then he becomes more powerful. But there is just that level of villain that fits perfectly into being able to continue this storyline. And you will still have you'll have US Agent,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have Falcon, and you'll have Winter Soldier, all kind of being the main driving force of this series. So I think it's perfect for this one out of the three to continue.
Yeah.
Well, that and the what if, because you
Yes.
can just
Yeah, yeah,
tell
yeah,
what if
yeah.
stories about Marvel
For sure.
forever.
Yeah. Noah says, we will get a season 2 of Loki.
I hope
I
so.
mean, I'll take it. If they said today you will get another season of WandaVision, I'll take it.
Yeah, same
But
here.
I feel like her story has that chapter has closed and she's gonna have to move on to the next chapter in Doctor Strange 2. So that kind of makes
And
sense.
another thing that would be really cool if they do, if they did, or if they have come out and announced a second season for Loki, that means that they are confident about Loki. And since we haven't gotten an official, hey, you're getting a second season of such and such show, but they're saying, oh, you're getting a second season of Loki, then
Mm.
Loki is good
Yeah.
because they're like, we like where this is
I feel like
going.
Loki's gonna mess with your head just as much as WandaVision did. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they said that, I'm a part of me is kind of like, oh, looking forward to Loki even more now.
We have a super chat from Ty.
Thank you, Ty.
Ty, thank you so much. Ty writes, Zemo said Sokovia no longer exists and it's splinter slash annexed. I get the impression the seats are being laid for the intro of Laveria and
Yeah.
Doctor. What is it?
It's Liveria.
Liveria
I
and
think the T is
Doctor Doom.
that would be good.
Really?
That would make sense that Doctor Doom kind of takes over the remnants of Sokovia, and and that's how he's able to be like, no, this is my country, my land, and I'm gonna, and oh, that would be awesome. I think that would be a really good starter, a nice little what is that called, flint and kindling, to actually get that fire going to bring in Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four.
And of course, we can't have an episode now moving forward. There needs to be like a Zemo dancing in every episode. Just a little.
You're just like,
so funny. He's like, blend in character.
You're not blending in, Zemo. You're not blending in. But yeah, to see his little like.
I also kind of enjoy seeing Zemo like being very badass. Like once he puts on the mask and shot the pipe and everything, like you said that in the final showdown during the shootout in the the container shipment yard thing, looked really, really cool. And I was like, am I a Zemo fan?
I have to admit, Zemo's starting to grow on me, and
Yeah.
I'm curious if they're going to, because if I'm not mistaken, Zemo did get a form of the super soldier serum, or something happens to him to where he does get strength, but the mask melts to his face, so it is now permanently attached to his face, and I'm wondering if they're going to go down that route. Kind of a thing.
Would love to see it. Maybe. Debbie just put in our Discord here that Loki according to an article from IGN, is reportedly in development. So we
Oh,
will see when we
then
get
that
this.
makes
Yeah,
me
that's gonna.
excited
I
to
know all these Marvel shows, so many.
before season 1 even airs.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're getting a second season of Loki.
Somebody watched one
Yes.
episode, they're like, and season 2 greenlit
Mm-hmm.
right
Let's
off the bat.
put our money down on Loki.
Anything else you want to talk about for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I think we do have one small super chat
I lost
before
it.
we
I'm
leave.
sorry.
It's way up there.
Oh no.
From Chris. Chris asks
no,
us a
sorry.
food question
I gotta find it.
about. Let's settle the debate.
I don't
Cajun
have
fries.
it. Oh wait, here it is.
Oh,
Okay,
there it
I
is.
just wanted to put it on the screen so you guys can read it.
Cajun
Chris's
fries.
choice, by the way.
Woo!
Yay! Thank you, Chris. All
And
right, go ahead.
Five Guys.
No,
has
start it
oh,
over. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let's settle the debate. Cajun fries or curly fries? I say Cajun fries, and Five Guys has the best one. That's a tough question. I actually will have to probably lean more towards curly fries.
Okay.
Because Cajun fries, I'm a wuss when it comes to spicy. Even though I like some things that are mildly spicy, I think Cajun fries are just a little too spicy for me, and I like the flavor of curly fries.
I gotta go with the Cajun fries because I like a nice heat on anything and everything. Like, make it spicy. Make this. Can you make that spicy? Yes. It's really rare when people like restaurants are like, "Is spicy okay?" Where I'll say no. There are some specific dishes, like I think it's the Cheesecake Factory jambalaya, or is it the other? Maybe the Cheesecake Factory jambalaya, which in itself it's not actually spicy, but there was one time where I ate one and I think all the spice like had accumulated in the one bite that I ate, and all I tasted was spice and none of the other flavor of the delicious food that was in there, and I was like, ugh. So ever since then I've like just kind of asked for mild, but I don't really order that dish too much.
Yeah,
I prefer an etouffee.
It's great that Wendy will get the spicy Cajun fries, and I'll be like, I'll just have a few of hers, and then I'll eat my regular curly fries.
That's so funny. And I'm seeing this comment here. Oh, curly fries.
Got a few curly fries.
McDonald's has the best fries. End of story. Me too. I can handle spice, so I can't handle spice, so curly fries for me. Jack says, I don't mind some spicy food, but couldn't have it all the time. That's me. Seasoned curly fries all the way. I mean, yes. Speaking of Madripoor, I just want to shout out to anybody who commented on the reaction video, letting me know what song was playing when they were in Madripoor. Because in the reaction, I was like, I was jamming to it. I was like, I need this song on my workout playlist ASAP. And it turns out to be, I think it was a Filipino rapper, Shanti Dope, I think it's the name. And the song is called Amatz, Amatz. I don't know if I'm saying any of it right, but super appreciative that you guys, like, so many people actually dropped it because the beat was so good. Like I was.
They have a really good soundtrack
yeah.
for this one. So for Falcon and the Winter Soldier so far,
I've been playing it nonstop on my Spotify. I'm just like, and repeat and again, and walk with the beat. When I walk Navi in the morning, I'm like, hey, dun 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 dun.
And what Jack said too, I also loved during that scene what Sam's outfit was.
It looked sick.
It looked slick on him. It really did.
He was dropping a lot of like really good bits of knowledge. Like he was kind of like, even when they were on the plane talking about Marvin Gaye, he's like, oh yeah, this song is a masterpiece. And I was like, what you know about Marvin Gaye? But he appreciates it. And Sam's like, he's out of line, but he's also right. I'm like, I can't argue with him.
I think Zemo is trying to see if he can get him to grow on them in a sense, to kind of be like, okay, see him less as a villain and more as
someone with their own agenda and motivation.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, during that entire scene of him being broken out, you were like, no, because this is going to be so bad. This is going to be so bad. This is not the way to go. But it's the only way to really make him a much bigger part of this show. You have to get him out of jail. You got to get him out of that prison. And I'm just like, I'm almost surprised when they were running away and Zemo went off to the side. I was like,
he betrayed them.
That's what he did.
But he apparently was just like,
he cut and run.
Yeah,
I was so expecting him to do that, but no, he's been sticking around, which really makes me think that he has an agenda that he needs to use Bucky and
until
Sam
that last minute.
Yeah, and he doesn't want any superheroes. No superheroes whatsoever. So that means he wants to take out Sam and Bucky,
Oh,
kind of a thing. He might use them until they're no longer useful, but then yeah, he's going to try to mind control Bucky again and try to kill Sam.
yeah.
Even though technically Sam isn't a well, he's a superhero,
But
but
he
he
doesn't
doesn't
have
have superpowers.
superpowers.
So he is using technology.
Yeah.
And I'm kind
And
of
his own
like, what
experience.
is he didn't like Stark for that, but Stark didn't have any superpowers
No,
either.
he just had a brilliant mind and lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots and lots of money. Hustle Mandalorian said, what's was that venom in Sam's snake drink? I don't think so.
I think it was like,
I believe it's like a Vietnamese thing where it's like it's a snake heart,
yeah.
and you're supposed to like do this before the heart stop beating or something like that. I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't think I ever will, just because like things like that kind of freak me out. But props to props to. I loved how Anthony Mackie played it. Like it was such a natural reaction because he was like,
Yep.
he was like,
I can't show it.
I love these.
I love.
Kind of that almost like, you know, it's,
yes, it's like it's
and then just don't think about it. Just do it, or your cover's gonna get blown. So props to you, Anthony Mackie, for giving us that, because that was such a good like acting reacting sort of video. I love watching him act. I really do. I think he's really really great.
They're all amazing actors
Yeah.
in this movie, in this show.
Yeah.
And I just love right now I love the dynamic between Sam, Bucky, and Zemo.
Yeah.
Because I just think that the way that they're pushing each other's buttons is just working out wonderfully.
Yeah.
What was the comment?
Oh, so Blade says Zemo still does things that are unforgivable. Telling your butler to serve spoiled food to your guests. What a monster! That's why you always do the smell test. You should always do the smell test. And then, in regards to the snake drink thing, Jack says that was awful, and Debbie says that's what all of us would do in that situation.
It'd be like, I'm trying, but my body just won't let me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, just go for it. Oh, I love it. Yeah. And you have to have that smile on your face when you do it,
because he's playing a character, you know?
Yep.
But I also like that with Sam, his phone kind of ringing halfway through the mission, and you kind of see Zemo's face, and also maybe a little bit of Bucky's like, amateur. But Sam already said he was more soldier than spy. So, you know, while Zemo and Sharon and Bucky may have a little bit more experience with the espionage thing, like Sam straight up like soldier, you know, like he's got the wings. This kind of stuff is not what he does. So I would say he did the best he could in this situation.
He has a very he
wasn't trained for this.
Yeah, he was not trained for like the how to take on a persona, how to be like to make it so people don't, what's wrong with this guy? Normally he's in here all the time.
Yeah,
kind
absolutely.
Of a thing.
Exactly. Well, you guys, do you have any final thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Besides the fact that I am so excited for the next episode, I can't wait for our Wakanda episode.
Yeah. There's going to be a Wakanda series.
Yeah.
So this could be kind of a gateway to like, hey, we know you're interested in seeing more of Wakanda. Here's a little bitty taste until you get the real show.
And I'm kind of curious too on if they will actually go to Wakanda.
In this show?
In this show, probably not.
I think with 3 episodes left, maybe not. But look, never say never. Watch. They go to Wakanda in the next episode. I just don't think they have the time to travel and then come back. Like everything is very timely. They got to get the serum. They have to, and there's so much more to explore with this with Carly and the Flag Smashers. So with that said, you guys, this is the end of our live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love chatting spoilers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier with you guys. So make sure you're tuned in next Saturday as well, where we dive into the spoiler discussion for episode 4. Thank you to everyone who contributed via Super Chat. We appreciate you guys so much. All the money goes to supporting this channel so we can further upgrade our equipment and whatever it may be to make our content look better for you guys. So we appreciate that. We will be back on Wednesday with another live stream where we just talk movie news and pop culture and food and whatever it is on our minds. Show more of Navi, essentially. That's what we do on Wednesday. A little bit more, or should I say less Falcon and Winter Soldier heavy, because there will be no show in between now and Wednesday, but we would love for you guys to come by on Wednesday as well. So you guys stay safe out there, enjoy lots of movies, enjoy your weekend, happy Easter, and we will talk to all of you on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see you then. Bye guys.